This video is about the astrological weather between the 3rd and the 9th of August. And you'll get some insights from the tarot, some invitations to what the universe is inviting you to explore this week, and also an invitation from the I Ching. So just briefly, this recent Mercury retrograde happened in my 12th house, and I went so deeply into my own subconscious mind, and even a lot of stuff surfaced from my childhood. But the one thing that I came away with, it being Mercury and being so deeply introspective in my own subconscious things, I realized that I am changing my focus in how I bring my content. So what is unfolding right now is I am going to be placing my focus on doing weekly YouTube videos, and I am greatly reducing what I am doing on more short form platforms like Instagram and TikTok. So the focus is going to be here. It's where my joy lies. So welcome, and please share your comments. I love to hear your input of where you are in your journey, if you are enjoying this content. And also please sign up to my newsletter. The link will be below, and this way you can stay in contact with me and connect to the content that I'm making that truly feels alive for who I am. And the best way for me to share is in more longer formats. So with that out of the way, we start this week on the 3rd of August with Chiron stationing retrograde. So Chiron has now only been in Taurus since the 19th of June. It is starting its retrograde between today and tomorrow after the station. It is then retrograding and entering Aries again on the 18th of September. Then it's going to spend its time in Aries. It's going to station direct again in Aries on the 6th of January. And on the 14th of April 2027, it's going to re-enter Taurus. So my invitation to you here with Chiron is to feel into what has changed for you since the 19th of June, because of course the energy between Aries and Taurus is very different. And yes, it's individual in each of our charts, but the general energy in Aries is much more an energy of individuation. And then with Chiron having moved into Taurus, it's much more a very, very practical, grounded earth energy place of where we are using our unique wounds and gifts to make a difference in the world. Chiron is so often just seen as that one archetype of the wounded healer. And yes, that is Chiron. But there's so much more to Chiron that can be explored. In fact, maybe I will do a video on that soon, because that'll be valuable. But the two things that I want to highlight about Chiron today is the fact that Chiron is that archetype that really helps us to feel into those uncomfortable places of what it feels like to be human in this very physical reality, and where we are so connected to spirit, you know, where we are living in that animal nature and where we are more living in our minds, because Chiron brings that opposite energy because the symbology is half animal and half human. And the other part of Chiron that actually is incredible to explore is the flip side of the wound, because the flip side of Chiron is that his wounds made him an incredible healer. He had the ability to see things because of his personal wounds that only he could bring, that only he could heal. And each of us have that inside us. We can find that unique place of bringing our gifts. And with Chiron going to be in the sign of Taurus again from April 2027 till 2033, the invitation here is to find those places where it's an earth element, it's very connected to Venus, where with our hearts, we are bringing service and healing to the world in very, very practical ways. Now, I received an invitation from the tarot for this Chiron stationing retrograde and received the Two of Swords. And the Two of Swords is also symbolic in so many different ways. But I want to bring an invitation for us today with this Chiron retrograde. The invitation is to find a place of balance between being with our wounds and then finding the gifts that we can bring, and also finding a place of balance between our human and our spiritual nature, because in order to be alive on this planet, we need to be able to function with both those elements of ourselves. And for some of us, that is much harder than it is for others, but we each have our unique way, and the invitation here is to find that place of balance. And the other thing that is also a symbol in this card that's sometimes not talked about is the blindfold, because the blindfold is also a symbol of trust, of knowing that yes, we are holding these two parts, but our inner knowing, when our physical eyes maybe cannot see, that is the place where we can place our trust, and in that deep, deep inner knowing of what we can bring to the world. So that is what I wanted to offer as an invitation for Chiron stationing retrograde. Then for this week, the other thing that I would like to share is that between Monday the 3rd and Sunday the 9th of August, we are in this place of the Sun trining Saturn. And this will be exact on Thursday the 6th of August. And the Sun is that place where we aspire, where we set our goals, where we want to shine in the world, where we want to be seen. And Saturn is a place that can feel very slow. It asks for us to be very grounded, to walk with steady progress, and to say no to things that are actually not serving us in the long-term path. And the energies that are very present this week in terms of the Sun trining Saturn is those energies of keeping with steady progress, focusing on long-term goals as opposed to things that feel like they can be only beneficial in the short term, and bringing a very grounded perspective, bringing in boundaries where we need to in order to achieve that grounded long-term perspective. And also a sense of a very calm confidence, a confidence that is so grounded and steady that to some people it may even be undetectable, but yet it is there and it is very, very strong. And the invitation that showed up for us here is with the 10 of Pentacles. And the 10 of Pentacles, the two symbols that I want to mention connected to this card is long-term goals and stability. So again, with this Sun trining Saturn, the invitation here is focusing on the long term. Yes, there may be short-term things that feel unclear or that feel important right now, but the invitation here this week is focus on the long term, focus on what can bring stability in the long run. And don't get distracted by short-term distractions that may show up for you. So that's the invitation for the Sun trining Saturn. And then the last thing I want to mention for this week is that as soon as Venus moves into a home sign of Libra on the 8th of August, from the 8th, 9th of August, she is going to start forming a kite formation, and she's making a kite to Pluto at the start of Aquarius, Uranus at the start of Gemini, and the point of the kite points to Neptune. Now this also means that what is forming is, yes, this kite formation, but also Venus being opposite Neptune. And this can be very, very expansive, but it can also feel like a tension, you know, when there's an opposition in the sky like this. And we can really tap into a lot of love. But sometimes the energies of Neptune can be so expansive, and we can be so much in a sense of union that we can lose track a little bit because it just feels so expansive. And what is showing up for us as an invitation for this kite formation? And by the way, this kite formation is still going to be with us next week when the solar eclipse happens on the 12th of August, which I will talk more about next week. But also just know that we are quite firmly in eclipse season this week. Things can come out of the blue, and even up to 6 months after an eclipse, we can still very much deal with sudden changes that is related to the actual eclipse date. So back to the invitation. The invitation for the kite formation that is forming with Venus, Neptune, Uranus, and Pluto is the Eight of Cups. And again, I want to bring a very simple invitation here. The symbology in a very simple way of this card is introspection, walking away to gain clarity, and going on some kind of retreat, you know, just like a space of seeking a deeper meaning. The symbology of this card is always, for me, the cups are there, they're upright, they're waiting. Nothing has happened, nothing is spilled, nothing has gone wrong, but there is a sense of a deeper meaning is needed. We need to just turn our backs and become a little bit introspective at this time. So there's a sense here that wherever this falls for us individually in our charts, the invitation is whatever is showing up this week, allow it time and allow a deeper meaning and a seeking of a deeper meaning to arise within you. And then last but not least, the I Ching guidance I received for this week is so related to everything that is going on, but very much related to the Sun trine Saturn. So what we have here is hexagram number 10, and it is called treading, and it reads, find your way one step at a time. And this is the slow invitation with Saturn to really focus on the long term. And it says trust in the outcome. So there is a real sense here that what might feel slow, what might feel unclear at this time, We can really trust in the outcome if we walk step by step by step. Stand with respect and integrity. And the symbol of this hexagram is literally two walking feet. Now, if you are a walker like me, you know that, or I personally, I get an incredible sense of clarity that I sometimes don't even get from meditation by actually doing a walking meditation by myself. You know, that sense of just one foot in front of the other, one foot in front of the other. It's a very, very powerful symbol for life in general. And it also reads, finding joy even in the struggle. And I have to admit that is sometimes something that I do. You know, if I look at my own chart, there definitely are places that I can very easily slip into where if I'm in pain, if I'm in something that feels very painful and uncomfortable, I completely lose my sense of joy. So this is a really good invitation, you know. And yes, we need to process very, very painful things sometimes, and we need to be authentic with that. And yet, Chiron can even help us in this quest, you know, of connecting to the human and the spiritual at the same time, and finding joy even when we are walking in struggle. And it says, don't be disheartened, illumination will come. So I really, really love this guidance for us and this beautiful invitation of walking step by step. There are so many places in life where even if we know we are moving in the right direction, the path can still feel so incredibly unclear. So just this invitation from the I Ching, from the universe, to just keep walking step by step by step by step and trust in the outcome and do not be disheartened is just a beautiful, beautiful invitation for all of us this week. So I will be back next week. Next week on the 12th of August, we will have our solar eclipse in the sign of Leo. And there is a lot happening in the sky, you know, at the moment in terms of what the astrological energies are mirroring for us and can really show us in what is unfolding at the moment. Again, please sign up to my newsletter. I'm focusing more on my newsletter and on my YouTube channel at the moment. And I am also doing personal readings. Please connect with me in that. I can help you in many different areas of your life, business, relationships, health, any place that you feel stuck. I can bring you insight. I can bring you invitations of where the universe is asking you to look and what to shift at this time. And then please also join my beautiful monthly program, the Moon Wisdom Lab. It will start again on the 11th of August, and this is going to be a powerful one as we are in eclipse season. So for this next month, in the Moon Wisdom Lab, we're going to walk together through the solar eclipse in Leo and the lunar eclipse in the sign of Pisces. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for connecting with me. If you find value here, please share this with others. Please leave your comments. It helps my channel to grow. I love sharing these cosmic insights with you and bringing these invitations from the universe. I will see you again soon.